Okay, you're welcome to the International Metabolic Forum Weimar. Now I'm Palindrome from the Palindrome team, and now I'm just making an introduction for these 2 days, today and tomorrow, and we will have an opening welcome talk from Robert and Brent. Sorry for the pronunciation. Who are hosting this event this week. And Jaime will make an introduction to the Metabolic Project. Then we'll have our keynote speaker, and after the coffee break we'll have first panel of this 2 days. And tomorrow at 10:30 we are starting with a workshop by Manon. So after the workshop we'll continue with 3 more panels. But before tomorrow, tonight, there are 2 performances between 6:30 and 8. So now, please.
Thank you, Ekmel. Ekmel's a curator from Istanbul and has worked with my dance company for 5-10 years and has a number of projects together, part of Palindrome. So thank you, Ekmel, and welcome everyone. Welcome the Metabody Consortium, of course, and especially welcome our guests who have submitted successful papers to our paper committee, and welcome visitors. I'm only going to speak for a couple of minutes to say that some words of praise to us, and these are that I believe we are pioneers. I think the digital revolution, digitale Zeitalter, has left a lot of unfulfilled promises. Some things have been wonderful, but I think the body has been left behind. And I believe Metabody is an interesting project to try to find that way back to the body. And these more primal aspects of human interaction, which I'll talk about in my talk later today. But those of us who are in this field are pioneers. We're not many, but there are more every year. I think it's a growing area of research, HCI and all of the other ways of saying it. Another sign that we are pioneers is the fact that I'm guessing that most of us would not know how to say what our profession is. I used to say I'm a dancer, that was easy. Now I fill out my employment, my tax form, and I have to say my profession. And officially I'm a choreographer / IT developer. I hardly do choreography so much anymore, particularly not most of the work I do, not this work. My work with the device we saw earlier, the motion composer, I'm not choreographing. And I'm not an IT developer, I'm not an engineer, I have no training in that area. I wrote that down because it was the only names that I could find that somehow have something to do with what I did. And I'm guessing that's true for most of you, that you would not really know how to say what your professions are. And I believe that's a sign that you are in a pioneering field. So congratulations to all of you, and I think it's exciting to have you all here. Good. Palindrome is co-producer of this event. The other half is an electronics company in the former East part, well, we are in the former East part of called IMF. And Bernd, would you say a few words, please?
Of course.
Come on.
Yes. As Robert said, we are an electronic company. We are situated in Weimar. It's Middle Saxony. And I'm a member of the board and responsible for strategy. And strategy, you can see either you have a glass ball and can see what is the future for technology and order how to transfer these knowledge into real products and services, but it's not true. The truth, we have to cooperate and to have contacts in several fields of projects and several fields of networks. And Metabolic is one project which we are interested in because there are some topics we are interested to know what is further expectations in electronic technologies, because we are our money from electronics. So on behalf of the board, IMF with Weimar, I wish the conference promoting atmosphere of discussing challenges the project Metabolic is dealing with. For IMF, this is important to learn about more opportunities of human-machine interaction and interfaces, because what Metabolic is now doing is pioneer work. And some years later, we will have perhaps the chance to do the technological and economic work to sell it on the market. It's necessary to find ways to manage technological progress, securing the freedom of human beings. What does that mean? You know, we have all these gadgets with us where we look at, hoping that someone is writing an email or SMS. You have, look at yourself. Do you every time have two hands free, or is one hand busy with an electronic gadget? Is this freedom, or is this dependency on electronic devices? This demands for new attitudes and procedures in the understanding and the technological implementation. I hope Metabolic will support a change in the way of thinking from feasibility to usefulness of technological progress. And that's why IMM is part of the project. And that I said at the very start, let's have good discussions, let's have success. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Jaime is the coordinator of the Metabody project.
So thank you, Robert and Bernd, and the local organizers for hosting this new Metabolic Forum 2015 in Weimar. It's great we're here in this incredible historical city with the, what you call these big names that have lived here. Well, for those of you who don't know what Metabolic is or is about, maybe, I don't know, if I need to make a general introduction, maybe yes, for some of you who don't quite know. So it's a European project that started about a year and a half ago. It's a multi-annual 5 years project with many partners. We're like 38 altogether, but 12 organizers. It's coordinated by Reverso, my small non-profit organization in Madrid. It's a European project. We have to deal with all sorts of issues, not just, it's not an easygoing process of just having time for research. We have to deal with enormous amounts of bureaucracy, for example. There are many issues one could talk about in this respect. But still, we find enough time, I think, for doing interesting research, questions, and developments. So indeed, as Robert and Bernd were suggesting, Metabolic tries to open quite a wide horizon, which maybe some people, many people have been inquiring around for many years, maybe trying now to take it a step further, in terms of how not only digital technologies, mostly digital technologies, expand a whole very long history, which I often trace in my own research back to at least Plato, of erasure of the body in its complexity. What I call sometimes a somatophobic culture. one can trace in very different appearances, information being the last, the most recent one, and a very complex one. How information was conceived and defined after the Second World War was an extraordinary historical event that is influencing radically our lives now. There were many discourses around how to mathematically conceive information, but the theory that went through was Shannon's theory, famous paper of 1948, in which information is again conceived as a bodiless fluid, again bodily erasure of context, of body with meaning. So information pattern is supposed to have, or at least it's not important in terms of the engineering of communication, whether they have meaning or what meaning they have, and even less, of course, our context and the bodies that relate to them. So the task for MetaBody in terms of trying to re-envision technologies that do take care of corporeality in all its incredible richness and emerging richness and changing richness is a very huge one, because sometimes I speak of it as kind of reversing cybernetics in some way. It's a very long and complex and dominant history, which is now structuring everything in our lives more and more with big data, for example. So, yeah, very open field. Hopefully we will be able to not just throw out very open questions, but also bring about specific kind of, not answers, at least experiments. We're like a lot of experiments. So,